All right, welcome back to another episode of the Fall Right podcast. And we're going to do something a little bit different today, Scotty. A couple of months ago, during a random podcast, we had a chat. And I think I may have said that Jack Nicklaus was the GOAT. And we had a bit of a debate about it. And while I'm not taking that back, of late, there's been some stats go up because Tiger turned 50 at the back end of last year. And so there's been all these incredible stats that have gone up. And we had a bit of back and forth around how amazing it was, that era, which I was lucky enough to be playing golf in. And I remember being a young, I don't know how old I was, but I remember where I was when I watched him when I just happened to turn on Sky TV and the US Amateur final was on Sky TV. He played a guy called Steve Scott and he was 6 down after 18 holes in the final.
Yeah.
And he'd won the 2 US Ams before that. So this was for 3 and he was about to turn pro and do the whole Hello World famous thing. And he came back from, I remember it was a shit day in Wellington and I was just lying in the lounge watching Tiger come from 6 down to win. Phenomenal. And so to live through all of that and see it, probably didn't appreciate it at the time. I reckon it'd be like living through Bradman. You know, now you look back at Bradman and go, how the hell did anyone average 99?
Yeah.
And I think there's a bit of that with Tiger. So, we went on a bit of a deep dive and grabbed some data and just thought we would punch each other in the face with some Tiger data. And I saw one the other day that Brando Chambly put up. And he said, if you took Mackenzie Hughes' short game, who's got the best short game on tour last year, and Scotty Scheffler's long game, their strokes gained equated to 3.398 for the season. And Tiger Woods' 2006 season was 3.443. So, like he bet the best of each not each category, but tee to green and then around the greens by himself. So that's pretty impressive. And also scary to think that that's 20 years ago this year.
Yeah, that is scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll know that your stuff will be way better than mine, way cooler. So where are you going to start us?
I'm not sure if it'll be cooler, but let's just start with some of the straightforward ones. 82 PGA Tour victories, 15 majors, 683 weeks at world number 1. We're going to get into that a little bit shortly. 281 of those weeks consecutively ranked world number 1. 142 consecutive cuts made on the PGA Tour. It's pretty impressive, Jay. It is pretty impressive. And as you said, you're pretty lucky to live through that and sort of be right in the prime probably of your golfing and golf watching days. My probably strongest memory is I didn't actually start playing golf till 2008, but I got obsessed with it straight away. And at the time, I got this job. My job title was logger, Logger. I wasn't logging trees, but what a logger was is I worked at Sky Sport and my job was to watch live sport and record when key moments happened so that the production team could go in and then make the highlights packages. So they'd make either 5-minute, 2-minute or 15-minute highlight packages. So my job was to go and watch the live sport, record when the key moments happened and then make it easier for them. And the last tournament that I worked at that job was the 2008 US Open. And I'm quite happy to say I watched every single minute of the coverage of that 2008 US Open, including the 18-round playoff because it went to 5 days because they couldn't be separated over 4 days.
18-hole playoff, not 18-round playoff. That would be excessive.
That would have been a big margin if it was 18 rounds. So 18-hole playoff the day after as well. So that was key memory for me. And there was actually a time, and I can't remember the hole, it might have been about 13, round 2, he held this big eagle putt. And I remember writing key highlight makes eagle before it went in the hole. There was something about that week that just had an awesome feel to it. And you can erase it if he didn't make it. You can go, oh, actually, he didn't make it. But there was something about, I was like, it just feels like he's going to make it, everything about it, the way he was stalking the putt. And I remember writing it down before it even happened. It just felt like one of those weeks. And one on what we found out later was a broken leg.
Well, that putt that he held on the second hole was one of the most iconic putts in TV history, right?
Yeah.
That's the one. Any highlights package, any golf intro package, there's the chip on 16 at Augusta and that putt.
Yeah. And just another side note to that is my best friend at the time, his dad was over there at Torrey Pines watching, and he had a tee time on the Monday playing the tournament setup. and then all those tee times got wiped because they had to have a playoff. So he was probably the one person in the crowd hoping that Tiger missed that putt on 18 so he could play the next day.
That does sound like a dream job for a young sports pervert.
It was unbelievable. Yeah.
Just getting paid to sit on a couch and watch TV.
Yeah, pretty good. No complaints.
I saw one that was amazing. Best score to par in majors from 1997 to 2009 with a minimum of 70 rounds. He was minus 134. Phil Mickelson was next best at plus 99. And Ernie Els was next best at plus 118. So
Wow.
Phil was the only player within 250 strokes of him.
Over a 12-year period.
Yeah. And I wonder how long Phil Mickelson was world number 2 in that time.
Yeah. That's incredible. So Phil was 99 over par for those 12 years,
Yeah.
and he was the second best.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the only one within 200.
That is crazy, all right? Now, I've got one here. In 2025, on the PGA Tour, Scotty Scheffler had an adjusted scoring average of 68.13. It's the 5th best single season average in PGA Tour history. On that same list, Tiger owns spot 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
So before 2025, Tiger owned the top 7 spots, and then Scotty Scheffler's just jumped into that. And for golfers nowadays, watching Scotty Scheffler, it's incredible. You just think Scotty's probably going to win if he's in the field.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what it was when Tiger was playing. And I remember some of the betting odds, it was literally Tiger versus the field.
This one's actually a little bit similar to that. In the last 60 years, there are 3 instances of a player winning 5 or more PGA starts in a row. And they belong to Tiger Woods, 7 in a row, Tiger Woods, 6 in a row, and Tiger Woods, 5 in a row.
Crazy.
Like, that is absolutely... How did I not notice this or pay attention to this at the time? Like, looking back now, you're like, unbelievable, 7 PGA Tour starts in a row.
It's incredible to think, even just the last, let's go 10 years, maybe 12 years. I'm thinking back to Jordan Spieth when he felt unbeatable, but he never seemed to go on a stretch. But you always felt like, if Jordan Spieth's in the field, he's going to be tough to beat. And I don't know, shortly after that, Dustin Johnson, it was like, oh man, no one's going to beat Dustin. And then Brooks Koepka had his moment, and John Rahm, and then Bryson. They've all kind of had these little short moments, and we think that's like 10 years. But Tiger did it Tiger was that for 10 years, but he actually won most of his, well, not most of, 25% of his starts, something about that. Won about a quarter of his starts. It is actually incredible. I don't know if people really appreciate how impressive it is. And maybe it's because he's continued to play on and hasn't been as great as he was, that lost a little bit of that aura around him, maybe.
Yeah, he certainly had that aura back then. I think even like that Torrey Pines US Open, there was that saying that, what is it, like Tiger shows up and he knows he's going to beat you, and you know that he knows he's going to beat you, and he knows that you know that So it felt like people just sort of fell off in front of him and crumbled until they didn't. Who was the first to beat him? Wei Yang.
Yeah, 2009.
That's right. But also for us as Kiwis, how impressive is it that Michael Campbell at Pinehurst in 2005, like that's prime Tiger that Cambo held off down the stretch. That's pretty cool. That's pretty epic.
Hearing the roars and, he's one group in front and still managing to hold your nerve knowing that it is Tiger.
Yeah. We should get Cambo on the podcast.
Yeah, go on.
Right. Is it your turn or mine?
We talked a little bit a couple of podcasts ago about Kazuma playing with Adam Scott and Minwoo Lee. He just shot 8 under, whatever it was, and then didn't make a birdie the next round. And the difference between playing in the group he was and then the next day playing in front of 20 or 30,000 people, and how that must have felt. But imagine being a relative nobody on the PGA Tour. You might be 50th in the world, and you get paired with Tiger on a Saturday, and there's just 100,000 people following, and you're in the last group. So back then, they'd open the gates when they went through, so they're right behind you. You've seen those shots when they're walking onto the green, and they're 20 paces from the green. How would you play? How would you even hit the ball?
I think you know the answer to how I'd go, Scotty. It's not well. Yeah, epic. And the other thing that would be hard, like forgetting the pressure would be hard, but, once Tiger's finished out, they're off. Or once he's, kick in distance. So I would assume, and you hear this from players, you're trying to line up your putt and half the gallery's running to the next vantage spot. So that would be hard as well. But yes, there's certainly that pressure would be.
And
Thank
Wei
you.
Yang, of all people, hitting hybrids into par fours, and yeah, it doesn't hit it very far. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, how did that happen?
Yeah. Well, it was about the same time that it all came out, though, with the
It was, yeah.
infidelity, and you kind of think, I wonder if that had an effect. But anyway, this podcast isn't about Tiger's infidelity. Is it your turn? Is it? From 2004 to 2006, Tiger had 1,466 putts from 3 feet, measured by ShotLink, and he missed 3.
This is my favourite one. I was saving this for last. This might be my favourite Tiger Woods stat of all the stats that are out there. I tried to look for some stats from 3 feet over the last few years to see what's comparable to that. The closest I got was Scotty Scheffler had already missed 2 inside 2 feet this year when it was an article that came out last year in like April. So he missed 3 in, what was it, the space of 2 years over 500 putts.
Yeah, 3 years, yeah.
3 years. Yeah, so the best player in the world, not necessarily the best putter in Scotty Scheffler, but he'd already missed 2 in the first 4 months of the year. That is absolutely incredible, knowing how slick those greens are for a start. Some of those pin placements with the amount of break, so a 3-footer, you'd be playing them outside the hole. And I think probably what doesn't really get talked about, especially in that era, there would have been players with metal spikes. You weren't allowed to repair spike marks. You could repair pitch marks, obviously, but you couldn't repair spike marks. You couldn't tap down anything in front of you. Any one of those little things that could have just kicked it off, and he only missed 3 it's my favorite Tiger Woods stat.
And you imagine how many of those were under pressure in contention. Like, it's not like he's running 50th most weeks and walking up and backhanding them in. It has to be said that this data is not my work. So credit to Justin Ray Golf on X, which is where I've got this from. I think it feels disingenuous to claim it as my own. So Justin Ray Golf is where these came from.
Yeah, and apologies, Justin Ray, if they were yours, but I remember reading that years ago, and I don't know if it was from Justin Ray. So no, I did read that years and years ago, and it is incredible every time I read it. We briefly touched on how long Tiger Woods has been world number one. 683 weeks he's been ranked at world number one, 181 of them being consecutive. This week, which was a couple of weeks ago now, 71st week, which Scheffler's been ranked world number one. To tie Tiger Woods for the most weeks all time on that list, when do you think he needs to be world number one until?
2035.
Yeah, nice.
Is that right?
It is. So he needs to be in the top spot until October 2005 to equal Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
It's 9 years from now. He needs to be number one consecutively for 9 more years just to tie that number of weeks.
I heard the young fellas talking about that in the car the other day, which is how I knew that. That's phenomenal. Like, if Scotty Scheffler's number one for the next 3 years, that's amazing, let alone 9.
9 years, yeah.
Since you threw a question at me, I've got one for you. How many PGA Tour wins did Tiger have? Did you say 82? How many European Tour wins has he got?
I had a little look. It's somewhere around 40, 44, 40?
41.
41?
Third most of all time, and he's never played on the tour.
He's never
What
had
a
European
dick.
Tour. Okay.
I wonder if he had any friends. Yeah, that's phenomenal. I had no idea. If you'd have said to me how many European Tour wins, I would have gone, maybe 12.
Yeah, another one here, which is kind of thrown in similar realm to the other ones we've been talking about. He's won the Arnold Palmer Invitational 8 times. No other players won it more than twice. And from 2000 to 2013, he was 109 under par at Bay Hill, 73 shots better than the next best player, who was Vijay Singh. So in those 13 years, he was 109 under par, 73 shots better than the next best.
Unbelievable. In the year 2000, the entire PGA Tour season, he recorded one round higher than 73. It was in the first round of the Masters. He shot 75, and that was on a day where the field averaged 75.59.
It wasn't that we shot 41 on the front 9?
Yeah.
41 on the first 9 of his Masters, and then he still won it by 12.
Amazing, eh?
For the only round he shot over 73, he still beat the field average.
Yeah.
So sticking to the year 2000, in the 2000 major season, Woods had 81.3 strokes gained total, the most of any player in a single major season since the Masters was first held in 1934. The second best is Arnold Palmer, 74.4 in 1962.
Say that again. I haven't
He
followed
was
that.
81 strokes gained total, put above the field
And how many rounds?
in the 2000 major season. In the majors in the year 2000.
So he averaged 20 shots better than the average.
Yeah, per major.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. No.
Well, he won the Masters by 12, and he won the US Open by
Open
15.
15.
And that's over second place, obviously, not the field average. So you could well be right.
Yeah. I don't have who put this stat together, but thank you to whoever did. It's
Holy
pretty
heck.
impressive. Yeah, so he averaged beating the field by 20 strokes in each major.
What year did you say that was? 2000.
Yeah, 2000.
From the 99 PGA through to the 2001 Masters, Tiger's finishes in the majors were first, fifth, first, and first. In that span of 5 major wins, only 4 players finished ahead of him combined.
It's pretty crazy. Holy. You think about now, it was a few years ago, Ricky Fowler finished top 5 in every major. It was like, wow, what a season. That's incredible. But he still got beaten by, what's that, 16 players and
Yeah.
across the whole year. And in 5 majors to be beaten by only 4 players.
Unreal, eh? You know, you mentioned before that he won Bay Hill.
Mm-hmm.
How many times? He's the only player since 1950 to win the same PGA Tour event 4 years in a row. He's done it twice, obviously Bay Hill. Do you know the other one?
Firestone?
The Buick Invitational.
Where was that?
Yes, 2005, 2006, 2007, and 2008. I have no idea.
Was that the one at Firestone or not?
I have no idea.
Because I know he went pretty good around there. He didn't lose many. Around there.
We'd have to Google that one. The 1997 Masters was when he won by 12, not the 2000.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but it's still against the field average that way. So even
True.
when seconds 15 behind you,
Yeah.
you win that one by 30. Maybe not quite.
Might have to cut that bit out and put it back to where we were talking about it being 2000. This is going to take some editing.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Over the last 10 seasons on PGA Tour, players who hold an outright 54-hole lead go on to win less than half of the time. It's about 47%. Tiger Woods is 44 from 46 in those situations, 96%. So if you hold the 54 outright lead, players only win 47% of the time, and Tiger did it 44 out of 46 times for a 96% rate.
All right.
Pretty hard to beat.
Yeah. There's one there that says over the last 10 seasons, players with a 3-shot lead entering the final round of a PGA Tour event have gone on to win 61% of the time, or 62% of the time, 61.7%. Woods is 25 from 25 in those situations in his career. And a 3-shot lead, I reckon, is a little bit niggly too, because it's enough that you should win, but it's not enough that you would, especially, with how good the players are. Probably says more about me in my mind than...
Well, it's a tough one because at a 3-shot lead, thinking about the players behind you, the guy who's 4 back is going, well, I've got nothing to lose in terms of if I want to win the tournament. If it's just playing for money, it might be slightly different. But if I want to win this, I'm going to have to make some birdies. And you know that they all have the ability to shoot 6, 7 under. So that guy who, let's say there's 3 or 4 guys who are 3 or 4 shots behind. One of them's going to shoot 6 or 7 under. So with that 3, you're like, well, I can kind of sit on the lead a little bit, but I'm going to have to make a couple of birdies. And if you make 1 bogey, all of a sudden now you do have to shoot 3 or 4 under just to match that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot, but 1 hole birdie bogey. Now it's only a 1-shot lead.
Yeah. And then they birdie the next and you're back to square after 2 and you make bogey and you're 1 back.
Yeah. So there's a thing that goes around Instagram every now and then. It's something along the lines of, you got 2 options. You can play Tiger over an 18-hole round. If you beat him on 1 hole, you win $5 million. But if you don't, you go to prison for a year. Are you taking that bet?
No.
You're not.
No.
You just got to beat him on 1 hole.
Who chooses the course?
You can choose the course. It's got to be an 18-hole course longer than 6,200 yards.
So Tottenham is out of place.
Tottenham is out.
So I don't think I'm taking that bet. I don't want $5 million enough to go to prison for a year.
Wow.
You're taking it, obviously.
This is weird because you think, surely I'll hit 1 shot close. You just got it 1 close. But then, you might hit 1 close, but then he birdies it as well. And you're like, okay, well, I've got to do it when he only makes par. And then you hit one to 6 feet on a long par 3, and then he holes a 40-footer, and you're like, oh shit, there goes that chance. And you got 3 holes left, and it's like, I'm probably not going to hit any more good shots now because I'm nervous because I have to, or I'm going to prison. It does feel, I think that's one of the hard things with golf is it's not a hard thing to make a birdie, to hit a good shot, but to do it at the right time when someone else doesn't, you obviously can't pick when that happens. And actually coaching the other day, it's really hard to make a half-court shot in basketball or hit a home run. Like, you need to be highly, highly skilled to do that. But anyone can hole an 8-foot putt.
Or you can get a hole in one.
And it doesn't feel any different to, like, you can hit a shot to 2 feet, let's say from 100 meters. You can hit a shot to 2 feet, or you can hit it to 20 feet. And those shots feel the same. They don't necessarily feel different in the way you hit them or the way you swing. You don't swing it any different. Whereas if you swing a baseball bat as hard as you can, it doesn't go over the fence. Like, you have to do something astronomically different for it to go over the fence. It's not the same swing, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's what's hard with golf is it doesn't feel much different to hit a great shot. So when I think about that, I'm like, I know it's possible. Like, in theory, it's really possible, but also it's against Tiger. I don't know if he would let it happen. There's just a will to him that would just feel like, you're not going to beat me on one hole. And it'd be worse if he knew the stakes, obviously. I think if he didn't know the stakes, if you're just like, let's just play around, and you're like, sweet, I beat him in one hole. But if he knew the stakes, he would, I don't know, I feel
Send
like
you to prison.
Yeah, he would almost hit it shorter than you off the tee if you teed off first, so that he could hit it inside you. And then next shot and put some pressure on. I don't know. I just feel like Tiger wouldn't let you do it.
It's the arrogance, though, isn't it? It's the arrogance of the human condition to think that, like, all the stats we've read, everything we've just read, and you are all Billy Big Balls going, yeah, I can beat him. Pull your head in, son. Because you think about this. You've played golf with, like, let's say Kazuma comes to town and you have a casual round on any given Sunday. Or Sam Jones. Sam actually sent me some data one year. I reckon of all the rounds he played at Namutu in a year, I think he played 30-something rounds. He shot over 68 once in club golf. So you get a guy like Sam Jones who's playing on the Hotel Planner Tour. He hasn't won 41 times in Europe. He's only shot over 68 once, over 30-something rounds when he plays at Namutu, which is one of the better courses in New Zealand. So those guys at that level, if I play with Kazuma, he'll have 64 probably, almost guaranteed. Then you think, well, if they are doing that, what do you reckon Tiger's shooting? Like, he's probably shooting, in no care, he's probably shooting 9 under. So now you've only actually got 9 chances to beat him because you're not making any eagles.
True.
You probably only make 2 birdies around. Now you're just hoping that you time your 2. Yeah, I just can't see it happening. Sorry, son. I think you're going to prison.
No, I don't. I can't see it happening either, but it's $5 million, Jay.
It's also a year in prison.
It might be worth it. Yeah, but like, my best chance to make a birdie is on a par 5, and he's going to birdie all of them, so they're out the window.
Yeah.
The best chance I have is getting lucky and hitting it close on a par 3, because he's likely to make 3 on the par 3s.
Yeah.
So now I've got 4 chances in a round. So yeah, you're leaving it up to pretty small margins, because he's going to hit it, let's say prime Tiger, he's going to hit it 40 past you if you catch one on all the par 4s. So you're going to be hitting a 4-iron when he's got a 9-iron, and it's just not going to happen. The fairest fight would be on the par 3s, and you kind of hope you just have to aim at all the flags and hope for the best.
Do you think he would be so ruthless if he knew the odds as to send you to prison? Like, I'd feel terrible sending you to prison, but you get the sense that at his peak, he probably would have just looked you in the eye and go, see you in a year. So.
I reckon he would have gone, I get to choose the prison.
Yeah. Come and visit you once, maybe.
Yeah. With his $5 million going, look at this.
Yeah. You couldn't even birdie a par 4, you loser. Whose turn is it, mine or yours?
I just asked that question, but I've got another one for you. At what age would Tiger Woods have to be for you to beat him when you were playing your best?
Dead. Well, you've only got to look now at...
Are you beating 2-year-old Tiger Woods?
Right, yeah, I went older rather than younger. Yeah, that's possibly fair. He won, well, you know that stat, what he won.
Yeah, go on. That's kind of where we're getting at.
Well, no, I was going to say, before we started recording, you said that you'd heard he'd won 3 US Juniors, 3 US Amateurs and 3 US Opens and been the only player to do it.
So he's the only player to win those 3 tournaments, and he did them all 3 times.
And he did the US Junior back to back to back, and the only 3 times he played it. And let's say, I don't know if it was under 18 or under 19. I think most things in those days were under 18. So that's probably 15, 16, 17 years of age. And then he won the US Amateur the next year and the next 2 years after that. So he went US Junior, US Junior, US Junior. They were the only 3 he played. And then he played 3 US Amateurs and he went, which is quite phenomenal, obviously. So, yeah, I'm not sure what age, but yeah, I was going more old, like when he's 80. But even then, those guys break their
Still
age.
have that mongrel, yeah, exactly.
He just might, yeah. His body might not make it to 80.
Yeah, so what are you thinking, maybe 7 or 8 years old?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's pretty big of me, eh?
Maybe take a punt and take on 11-year-old Tiger.
For $5 million or a year in prison. Yeah, it is quite phenomenal. Going back to some of the stats, from 99 to the year 2007, not sure why I said the year 2007, Tiger Woods played 17 WGC stroke play events. He won 12 of the 17, was 188 under par in those events, and once again, 131 shots better than anyone else, who in this case was Jim Furyk. What do you think those guys, like, what do you think they thought when he showed up? Would it be a bit like, oh, this is wicked, we're witnessing history, or this sucks, I wish he'd just go home?
I think probably that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Your turn.
It'd be amazing and we're probably going to get more and more candid interviews because we're kind of getting to that era where they are now in their mid-50s or 60s, those guys like Jim Furyk and that, where they're probably more open to talking about that kind of stuff, what it was actually like and what they felt, and whether they just turn up and go, well, we're playing for second, or were there any times where Tiger hit his tee shot in the trees and there was like this glimmer of hope and then he'd play this miracle shot and you're like, oh.
Well, that was Grant Waite, right?
Was it?
Was it Grant Waite at the Canadian Open? And Tigers hit 5-iron out of the fairway bunker over the water onto the, like, just stupid shit
Yeah.
that no one can hit. But yeah, there he can.
He can. Who was it that he beat in the match play? Early days when, was it Stephen Ames?
Yeah. There was a story about that, eh?
Yeah, because Curtis Strange did the same thing in the late 90s, or just before he turned pro. Oh, we need to see what it's like out on tour.
Well, he did that famous interview where Tiger said second sucks, and Curtis Strange went, you'll learn. But it took some time to learn.
In the last 100 years, Tiger is the only player to win more than 2 majors by 5 strokes or more, and he's done it 5 times.
Shit. Where's he done it? He's done it, obviously, 97 Masters by 12
Yep.
and the 2000 US Open by 15.
Mm-hmm.
Where else? Does it say?
No, it doesn't say.
No. I've got one for you. In a stretch from the 1999 Deutsche Bank through to the 2001 Memorial, Tiger in official worldwide events, 46 starts, 23 wins, combined margin of victory 79 shots. He won 5 majors and 8 starts, including those 4 straight, and 11 wins by 3 shots or more, and only finished outside the top 10 6 times. So 40 top 10s.
And how many?
And you think you can beat him?
In one hole. Well, really, it's only in one shot. It's only in one shot. So his 5+ strokes in majors, 97 Masters, which was by 12, 2000 US Open, won by 15. He was 12 under. The next best was 3 over par. Pebble Beach, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2000 Open Championship. He won by 8 strokes. That was at St Andrews. And then the 2006 PGA Championship, he won by 5. There should be one more because it's only 4. There you go.
Are you looking for something?
I am at the moment, yeah.
Do you know that Tiger has won his 100th, 200th, and 300th start on the PGA Tour? His 100th start was the 2000 WGC Invitational. His 200th start was the 2006 Buick Invitational. And his 300th start was the 2013 Players Championship.
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
That's probably something that no one else in the field knew that week.
Yeah.
But he would be like, I'm going to win this.
Yeah, I wonder if he did, eh?
Something a little different.
You get the sense that he would have known that shit.
Yeah, I think so. Over the last 30 seasons, there are 7 instances of a player beating the field scoring average in all 16 rounds of the year's majors. So beat the scoring average in every single round of a major year. Tiger's the only one to do it twice in that span.
Fuck.
So 16 rounds. Every round in the major in a year, he beat the field scoring average. He's done it twice.
Yeah, that's impressive. Have you heard that one where he only used one tee?
No.
Again, the lads were
That's
talking
going to be
about
my new favourite stat.
Well, and I think the lads were talking about it last week. I think it was the Open Championship that he won just after his father passed away. Was that at Royal Liverpool?
Yeah, was that the 2006 one?
And he hardly had a driver. But I think he used, the rumour is, and whether it's a myth or not, who knows. But, and it may not have been that event, but I'm pretty sure there's one myth where he used one tee for the whole event. What do you reckon that tee would go for on eBay?
I would hate to. I don't think me beating Tiber one hole would be enough to pay for it.
Nah, no chance. One tee.
Imagine if he's like, you know what, guys, this is my most prized position. I'm going to sell this. This is the only tee I used when I won the. Imagine if he put that up for auction.
Yeah.
Surely, if you use one tee, you would know you did that the whole round, and then you would keep it, and you would go. That'd be on your little wall at home. Frame that.
It'd be a weird thing to frame.
We can try that this year. You start the round with one tee, and you got to try and finish the round with that same tee.
Well, he did it for 72 holes.
Well, there you go. We'll try and play four with it.
And it wouldn't have been a plastic even tee with the right height.
It's got to be a wooden tee.
A wooden tee.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm more chance of keeping a tee than I am keeping a ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say ball, but also I've got no chance of that.
One thing I think about, and this is probably a little bit too serious and takes too much thinking for either of us, but I do wonder, like, did he time it right in the era that he played? Not in terms of other players, because sometimes people go, the fields are better nowadays, but I'm not sure. There's some pretty impressive players like Ernie Els, Phil Mickelson, Vijay Singh, Rory McIlroy, the back end of Norman. But do you think, because he went from Ballada ball to, the Pro V1 type ball, not to say that he used the Pro V1, but how much do you reckon that had an impact? Because would he have been as dominant with a Persimmon head and a Ballada ball? And I think he would have, because he would have adapted. But I think the fact that he was into the fitness stuff, into the gym, and he was able to make those gains at the same time that drivers went to 460cc heads and the ball changed, and all of a sudden, because with a Ballada ball, speed wasn't always your friend, it could be your enemy, which is why a lot of shorter hitters and stuff would go right. Corey Pavin, Curtis Strange, and Tom Kite, quite dominant players, good short games, because the ball didn't lend itself to smashing it. He was one of the fittest players early, before that got normalised. So I think, did he time his run really well? Came through that era of, he's sort of growing up with the evolution of technology. And I wonder how much of an impact that would have had. Any thoughts on that? It's a little bit like the cricket nowadays, right? You look at the size of an edge on a bat that even probably Martin Crowe used in the 90s compared to some of the edges. I watched Finn Allen in the Big Bash the last couple of nights. Holy shit. Or he just leans on it and the thing flies.
You could almost hit a six with one of those bats, Jay.
Do you reckon?
Nowadays, yeah. They're massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is ridiculous how big they are. And also the type of willow too. Martin Crowe probably used the same bat for 6 or 7 seasons. Whereas nowadays, the wood is so soft, so it pings, but it's also susceptible to breaking pretty easily. So they don't last as long, but they're not designed to either. So they've got that too. Whereas back in the day, you'd just oil that and keep sanding it and oiling it, and it would last season after season.
Oh, shit, I never knew that. Yeah. There's a guy on the Big Bash that did an interview the other day. I don't know who he plays for, but have you been watching much of the Big Bash? It's quite good here in Australia because you come home from the day's work. Yeah, just there it is, and you can just sort of chill out and watch it. But one of the guys was talking about he'd have his bat open, almost like he was trying to hit a bunker shot, but as an opening batter. And the commentators were talking about he'd got the concept from golf and from getting backspin and to help the ball fly. So imagine he's got what we would say the club face open, and he's smashing these things for 6, and he reckons he's gained a heap more distance. But he wouldn't really, the commentators asked him in the next game, because they were talking about it one game, and then the next game they interviewed him. And he's like, I'm not going to give much away. But, it's certainly helping the ball go further.
Interesting.
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, it does a little bit. I've actually been waiting years for the TrackMan for cricket because I'd be so interested in that stuff. What is the spin rate that, is optimal to hit a 6? What's the launch angle and that type of stuff? So yeah, that would be interesting to see if it is just a feel or if it is actually what's happening.
Well, and it probably changed too because of golf, right? Like the optimal launch of a driver nowadays is probably like going back to what we we're saying about Tiger. I suspect those launch numbers and data is different now to optimize with the new ball than what it was for the old ball.
Yeah. I think the thing as well with Tiger, you sort of asked for my thoughts on that. And it is an interesting sort of thought to have if he did just time it right. But the fact that courses were lengthened pretty much exclusively due to Tiger's dominance. Like, well, he's hitting a wedge into a par 5. We can't have that. Like before that, the gains were incremental and there were long hitters like John Daly. But until you get someone as dominant who just did it year after year and over, like the term Tiger proof doesn't exist without Tiger. And yeah, just from his pure dominance, maybe they would have lengthened eventually anyway because of the overall field average hitting it longer. To be that much longer than everyone, it'd be like one of the long drivers now playing on tour and actually being able to score.
Being better at you at every other category too.
Yeah, exactly. Not only do I hit it what would have to be now like 380 yards, but I've also got a better short game, but better. Yeah.
The irony was that Tiger Proof actually helped Tiger more because it just made the courses too long for the short hitters. And he just hit, instead of hitting a wedge, it hit 7-iron, but the guy that was hitting 5-irons now laying up.
Yeah. What would Scotty Scheffler or someone else have to do to even be in the same conversation as to approach that conversation as being as good as or as dominant as Tiger?
Well, world number 1 till 2035.
Yeah.
How many majors did Tiger win?
If he did that, let's say he finished with 12 majors.
Yeah.
Or let's say he finished with 10 majors. It's a hell of a career, 10 majors.
Yeah,
but you're still like, that's nowhere near.
How many's Tiger won?
15.
Yeah. It's all the other stuff that we've talked about tonight, though, that's ridiculous.
Mm.
Scotty won 6 times last year and 6 times the year before. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But Tiger won 7 in a row one year.
It's all the stuff on top of that, like the 142 consecutive cuts made. And
well, Scheffler's on. He's on for that.
Is he?
He's alive still. I think he's around. As I said, I think he's around 60 something.
I did try to look it up. The top 5 in consecutive cuts made on the PGA Tour: Tiger Woods 142, Byron Nelson 113.
He won. How many did he win in a row? Byron Nelson?
Was he 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 11. They did say that there were a couple of them where his main rivals were off at war. So the fields were a little depleted. But either way, 11 wins in a row. Still got to be good enough to beat the best player, the next best player in the field, who can show up and have a good round, couple of good rounds. So that was in the 40s. In the 70s, Jack Nicklaus, 105 consecutive cuts was his best streak. Hale Irwin in the 70s as well, 86. And then in the 50s, Dow Finterswald, never heard of that name before.
No.
72, and then Tom Kite in the 80s with 53. So it's a big drop off.
It is, yeah.
The 6th longest streak is only 50 made cuts in a row.
And what's Tiger on? Oh, what did he get? 142. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, how's this? Sam Snead. I don't know. Someone's revised the most cuts made. Then Ben Hogan, 176 cuts made. Ended with a withdrawal after round 1 in 1948, so probably due to injury. But in 144 cuts made, Sam Snead, he got DQ'd for having 16 clubs in his bag. that was how he missed the cut. Missed his cut to ruin his streak.
There was a time where... No, that can't have been Sam's. I was thinking there was a time when there was no limit on clubs, but that can't have been Sam Snead's.
No, it wasn't his era. I think it was a little before that. They said... This revised one was because there used to be events where everyone got paid, so they just made it top 20 was the cut. Like they made, if you're in the top 20, that was effectively what the cut was because everyone got paid in the event.
Right. When you said Hale Irwin before, I think he occasionally used to use an orange golf ball.
Yeah.
Which is like, he did that thing the other day, like the birdie or bogey.
Yeah. Coloured golf balls.
It's a definite bogey.
Yeah.
But someone might win no, I don't think anyone's won a major with a coloured golf ball. And I know that nowadays yellow's becoming a little bit more common. I think someone won last year with a yellow golf ball. But
Yeah, who's it? Who's the guy that wears the wide brim hat that used the yellow golf ball? Peter Malnati? Is that his name?
yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he goes all right.
Yeah, also, I think prior to him, it was Jerry Pate
Wow.
who used an orange ball. They should have disqualified him for using an orange ball, not Sam Snead for 16 clubs. Far out. But yeah, no, I think Annika Sorensen may have won a major using a coloured golf ball, but I don't think so. That could be Tiger's next thing.
Oh, imagine that. He wouldn't use the colour. Oh, I don't know.
No, I don't think he would.
What would a coloured golf ball have to offer you for you to change to a coloured golf ball?
What, $20?
Like if your dispersion
Fine, 15.
if your dispersion went from, I don't know, let's say from 60 yards to 40 yards, nothing else changed, just the dispersion with driver. Is it enough for you to go, yeah, I'm using that?
Yeah, shit, yeah.
So not too much then. So wouldn't have to be too different.
Nah, that would be worth it. I think any improvement, any gain would be good, right? Yeah. No, I thought you were talking about endorsement deal. I was like, yeah. $20 on there.
There's one there. What if it was a ping golf ball though?
Oh, I've got a few ping golf balls. I love ping golf balls, actually, yeah. They're all used, which is a bit of a shame. I'd love to get some legit ones. Did you see at the What's in the Bag in the Hawaiian Open, there's a ping mini driver?
Is there?
Yes, but
That's exciting.
it isn't actually that exciting because I think it's tour use only.
For now, that just means it'll be out next year.
Well, hopefully. There's prototype on it. 13 degrees, 3-weighted, 3-wood shaft, little ahead.
That'll be a bit of you, wouldn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I've been waiting about 33 years for such a club. Yeah. Yes, lovely. Mini driver ping. Bring it on. That's probably all I've got, Scotty.
I think that probably wraps it up, Joe.
Yeah.
That's our little celebration for Tiger now being old enough to play the Seniors Tour. Does he break any Senior Tour records?
I think Stevie Alker's the legend of the Senior Tour, isn't he? Yeah. We'll be doing a podcast on Stevie Alker, surely.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll play the Senior Tour?
Do you think he has enough, not in a bad way, do you think he has enough mates to go, you know what, it'll actually be fun to go and play with my mates again? Do you think he developed enough golfing mates who, because it seems a little bit like that, the guys who continue playing the PGA Tour for a few years, but then you see them in the Champions Tour and they're having a great laugh at almost like reminiscing about old times.
Yeah.
Let's go and do that. Did he make enough golfing mates to...
Probably not with his performances.
Yeah. He's probably not going to go and hang out with Phil.
No.
Yeah. Maybe, did he get on with Padraig Harrington? I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. What would you like to see Tiger do before he ends his career? Would one more PGA Tour win be enough to... Because I think he's tired at the moment, isn't he? For the most.
Yeah, maybe.
Obviously, one more major's the easy answer. But, like, what's the smallest thing he could do where you're like, oh, that's cool. That's one cool thing. Now I can happily see Tiger retire.
Yeah, I reckon, I don't know, I could probably happily see Tiger retire now. There's that little bit of it feel. When Michael Jordan went from basketball to baseball and everyone's like, oh, he's ruining his legacy, I just kind of think, nah, what a legend. Like, have a go. And who cares what people think? But there's the bit of me with Tiger where you're like, oh, you see him limping and hobbling and you're like, oh, it might be time to rest up, mate, get your body back in shape and live out your life in good health rather than keep putting yourself through stuff. But I suspect he'd be so driven, he'd want to come back. Be cool to see him compete for a whole season.
Yeah.
Play a season on tour, be in contention, make all the cuts, be one of the, not like even that Masters felt a bit out of the blue. And yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to have one more PGA Tour win. Potentially not even a win, just a final group on Sunday coming down the stretch. He's in with a shot, even if someone has to do something extraordinary to beat him.
Yeah.
Pretty cool story. I think it would capture that bit of magic again.
Yeah, Pinot agree. Lovely.
Cool.
All right, brother.
Cheers, Jay.
Too good.
See you.